down fix it again.
No, that's good.
Holy shit. It remembered one thing.
Okay, everything appears to be working now.
Alright, coach. I'm ready to get good.
Alright, it's not gonna be easy because I feel like you'd almost be better off restart.
I mean, I haven't really done anything yet.
Mission. Oh boy. Alright, so the first thing I'll tell you to try to help you to feel better about progress in this game is that it has shortcuts. For instance, if you reach a certain point, like in this level, you'll open that door that's directly next to that shrine, and then, you know, if you die, you can just walk through that door and not have to go through every enemy again. So, you know, opening shortcuts is like the key to feel good.
Should I be fighting these guys, do you think?
I would say no. They're pretty hard. Apparently, the main reason they exist is that if you were playing online, those would be other players' deaths. So basically, there'd be like way the fuck more of them, and like anybody who like died in this area, it's like you can fight like a ghost of whatever they were playing as.
Okay.
And that's like that's the main thing that they are. But in single player mode, it's just like a bunch of pre-built ones that they put around. But they are significantly harder than just fighting normal enemies. So.
Well, you were saying earlier that they drop better gear, so I wasn't sure if I should get better gear.
They do, depending on, like, I mean, it depends on what you use, because it shows you what gear they have when you, like, hover over their thing. Mm-hmm. So if you see that somebody has something you want, like, he's using a regular sword, so it's like, if you want to use regular swords, he might have a better one than what you've got. Also, I think the fact that it's yellow, because like yellow titled items are uncommon and blue titled items are rare, so probably those are like 4 uncommon and 2 rare items. Though, like, you can get uncommon and rare versions of the same item, it's just like how much stronger they are. The way items function is very like Diablo-esque in that sense.
Just from what you're saying, it sounds kind of MMO-y.
Yeah.
Not that Diablo's an MMO, but the same idea.
Neither of us is branded today.
No.
Holy shit. Fuck.
Asshole. Alright, no arrows. Oh shit. Again. This game.
So, alright, right now, I would suggest just going back to the shrine and finding out, like, because you said you haven't leveled up at all, right?
I think I might have put 1 point into something.
Because, like, in this early part of the game, like, it doesn't cost, like, the amount it costs more than last time to level up is only, like, 50 more each time. So, like, you can level up a whole lot pretty quickly in the beginning. Like, yeah, you only need 250 to level, so you could level 3 times right now just based on what you've got on you. Well, probably only twice because it'll go up in price. But personally, I've put everything into strength because of the fact that it enhances your life and strength. If you put stuff into body, your life meter will go up higher. You know, it tells you everything that it affects. If you press to the right on, like, at any point, just press right. and it'll tell you like what will be increased by you having chosen that.
Gotcha.
So,
what is key for?
Key is your stamina meter.
Oh. All right.
All right, I've tweeted out.
Affects the power of your guardian spirit.
Bobby Joe Brown says your latest video is the best one in the series so far. I assume he's referring to the Log Horizon video that I just put out, and I agree. It is my favorite so far, which is why it's really disappointing that I had to post it on my After Dark channel. I don't know if you heard that my main channel is like about to be terminated.
Well, that is the best thing that can happen to you. So congratulations on almost tripling your Patreon.
It's not going to work that way for me. Because it's just going to come back, probably. It's not likely going to go down permanently, but...
You just got to make a big deal about it anyway and, like, act self-righteous. And the pity
Everybody give me more Patreon dollars, because my channel's got 3 copyright strikes. And I can't upload. I literally cannot upload. Like, the channel is still up right now, but I can't upload. But it's probably going to go down before any of my counter notifications go through, so... But it's unfortunate, because like, there's people saying, like, oh, you're getting targeted now, just like Monkey Jones. I'm like, I'm not getting targeted. It's just shitty.
Dude, you gotta ride that hype, though. That's the whole thing.
The thing is that one of the strikes was because of a video that had been blocked worldwide for a long time that I finally decided to contest. And they, you know, of course they rejected the contestment, so they gave me a strike. And then I just happened to get a totally unrelated strike fraudulently on my, on one of the Ghibli casts. Fucking so obnoxious. I fucking hate it. Pancakes with Crater says no branding. Is I Am Games over? Nah, dude. We just printed a new shirt yesterday for Hypocrite.
It did. It was fucking sick. That was the last one of that first batch. We are officially out of stock.
Which means that if we ever want to do more sold by us, it'll become a serious venture all at once.
Yeah.
So have you determined what you want to
No
upgrade?
idea.
What weapon do you like using the most? Do you know?
I don't really have a preference yet. I kind of like. I thought dual swords would be cool, but they just. This isn't the kind of game where dual swords are cool. You know,
yeah,
like you want to hit hard and fast.
Yeah,
really.
Dual swords are more of a crowd control weapon. Like the regular sword and the axe are probably the regular sword seems to be the easiest to play with because it's fucking huge. Like if you use one sword, you're using like a 6-foot sword.
Right.
And it does pretty good damage if you're doing overhead strikes. But, like, with the sword, if you want to, like, switch stances a lot, it's more convenient than the axe. With the axe, I've just been playing, like, nothing but high stance because it does a lot of damage. But that means you only get in, like, 2 hits before you run away, you know?
Right.
But that's just the way I play Souls anyway, is I just run in, I hit twice, and I jump back. And I run in, hit twice, jump back. And there's no real stamina management in that case. Whereas, like, playing with the sword, you could do more advanced stuff. But yeah, dual swords, it explicitly tells you that they're, like, more for crowd control. So I think it expects you to have that as, like, your backup, you know?
That might have been why I was sucking so bad before.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, going for, like, oh, dude, dual swords, so many cool combos.
Right.
Not really how it worked out.
But yeah, it tells you what what weapons are mainly affected by each stat. And, like... it's really funny that stamina is like mainly affects cannons, and I'm like, what cannons? I don't have any cannons.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that shit
But
yet.
like increasing your equipment rate is not that big of a deal. Like you are currently like over encumbered, but only by a little bit, which just slows down your see how it says equipment rate is at 80.3%. That means that you are wearing 80% of what you could possibly be, but the fact that it's yellow means that your stamina regen is lower and you're also slower because you're just wearing more armor than you can really carry.
Disgusting, unacceptable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go for swords. I'm gonna dip some points into swords.
Getting headshots in this game feels great. Agreed.
It does.
It
Every time you get a bow headshot and it's like 2k damage and they just drop.
Using guns and bows in this game is significantly better than it is in the Souls games, for sure. So yeah, so now you only need 1,000 to upgrade. So like in this early part of the game, like just killing a few enemies, especially the bigger enemies, will like give you so much Amarita that you can just keep running back and leveling up. And
have you done anything with offerings?
that just gives you Amarita for items. It's basically just a way to dump your inventory.
Sure.
And the more of it you give, like if you give like 10 items, they'll start giving you like healing items in return. So like I just will every once in a while just dump everything because like I
have a ton of shit right now.
Right. I've just been using the same axe since like the start of level 1, and so like everything else I just sell as offerings. It's easier to do that stuff after the levels are over, because like when you go to the world map after the first level, you can access the shrine from the world map, and that's cool. Like a good time to just fucking do all your bullshit.
Well, I'm gonna get unencumbered. I'm gonna get cumbered, man.
Because it's like right now you're halfway through the level, and technically, like, you mean you saw me just run to the boss that one time, so like you're basically at the end of the level. You're just not really strong enough to fight the boss, you know. So like at this point, your best bet would just be to run around the level and probably even go back through the areas you've been and collect items and stuff, and just get stronger. Digi, this is your chance. You have to start acting like a self-righteous victim and you'll double your Patreon. I know.
This is your moment. This is your time.
Are the claims legit, though? I mean, insofar as did I infringe copyright, I would say that the first strike I have is not arguable, because it was on the Finish or Fail Full Dive Muhyo Toroji video where I basically show like the entire episode. And I had like counterclaimed that a while back. It was rejected. That strike dies February 19th. But the other two, one of them is on the Ghibli cast My Neighbor Totoro from some fucking third party like auto, you know, finder of content kind of thing. I don't know if Ghibli actually hired them, but like it's a bullshit claim and it should definitely be released. But companies like that will just wait out the 2 weeks until they give you back the video. The other one was on the importance of aesthetic and anime narratives or whatever, which had been blocked worldwide for a while, and I fought it and they decided to give me a strike, so now I'm fighting that. Both strikes I could easily see beating. It's just a question of will I beat it fast enough for the channel to come back, you know, or to not die. Did you learn to play or just watch Vic and Hope? I just played it by myself, and it's a lot easier when you know what Souls games are like. Like, I would just say that, you know, jumping in out of nowhere, the game felt a lot harder than it was, but like that's because Tom had not really leveled up at all. And like by the time I was at this part, I had already leveled up like probably 10 to 15 times. So, you know, I was just like a lot better equipped. I did this whole part like without dying when I did it on my own file. So, it's just a matter of like there's a lot to take in because there's so many fucking mechanics in this game. Like, the biggest difference between this game and Dark Souls is that this game is definitely meant to be played indefinitely. Like, the structure of the game is such that you're meant to just go back through and just like keep playing over and over and over again and just like building your character however you want and like, you know, leveling up everything, getting the best possible items. It's like you said, it's MMO like in that way. You know, it's all about min-maxing, which I've never been as into, so I could see this not being as much my type of game as a Souls game, but I absolutely appreciate why Victor and Shade both fucking love this game. Did you wear my fucking Patreon podcasts? They're coming, dude. Which ones are you complaining about? Oh no, our thing says first playthrough I Am Games Munchie and Tommy Oliver instead of Digibro and Tommy Oliver.
No.
Also, our category is art. Did you guys do a stream on this channel or something?
We did Killing Code on Home Games.
Yeah, that would be why. So he just didn't change anything except to replace my name with his. That's perfect.
It's pretty good.
Digi or Tome, what do you guys think about scoring any type of media based on numbers? Do you think you can't quantify an opinion, or do you think it's a good shorthand for getting your opinions across? I think it's a great shorthand, as long as people understand your personal number system.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of being like, yeah, like, this is a 7 for me. And, like, people get it.
Yeah. I mean, it really is only effective if you have given lots of scores and people can compare it, because... Like, if you know, for instance, with Anthony Fantano, like, what kind of stuff he generally gives a 6, 7, or 8, and then he gives one of those scores, then you can, in your head, immediately know what you're comparing it to, you know? So it all depends on, like, the publication or the person. But yeah, I love 10 scales. I mean, that's, like, what got me into reviews as a kid, was the numbers, you know? Like, just like, to me, there is so much power in when somebody really uses their 10 scale correctly and they give power to the numbers, then, like, when somebody who only gives, like, a 10 once a year, maybe, gives something a 10, you will check that shit out. Right. You're like, there's no way I'm missing out on, you know, an Anthony Fantano 10 or a YMS 10 or a Digibro 10, you know? Anyone else have a problem where the PS4 fans start going crazy when you go to the blacksmith? We haven't been there yet, but we'll find out.
I have a PS4 Slim. I don't know if that'll make it any better.
Yeah, that's true. Did you watch AGDQ at all? There was a really good Bloodborne run. I did not. Tom, did you watch any AGDQ?
I've literally never watched AGDQ in my life.
It's just a bunch of speed runs.
I mean, I know what it is. Speedruns don't really interest me, I guess. Which is kind of gay, I admit it. But unless they're playing a game that, like, I'm familiar with, I can't really appreciate a speedrun because I don't have any context what a normal run is, therefore the speed.
Right. Unless
they're, like, breaking shit, you know? In which case, it's like, oh, dude, they're using, like, glitches and stuff. Like, I get that, but otherwise, I don't really have a frame of reference.
Kajoro Bitterthorn asks, is the game funner now, Tom?
I mean, I've done nothing but, like, add 1 point into skill. I am approaching it with a better mindset, because I was just crabby and not happy. But I've reinvigorated myself with the power of friendship, so now I'm doing a bit better.
Tom has become determined to give this game a shot. It helps that I can give better coaching now that I actually understand the game, having played it myself. Because, like, when I was watching you play it and I didn't know what kind of game it was, I just assumed that, like, there's no reason to assume that it's anything like the Souls games if there's no evidence to that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's obviously similar, but, like, for instance, I didn't know there were shortcuts because I don't remember ever seeing you open a shortcut.
I put a ladder down, like, once.
Yeah, there's often, like, for instance, which part of the area are you in? Somewhere around here, there's a place where you can knock a big pot of water down onto some of the fire that's blocking the path, and that gives you an easy path back to the goal. There's a Kodama over there on the roof.
Yeah, I don't know how to get over it.
You might have to drop down from a cliffside to get to that one. No, actually, I don't remember. I don't think I got that.
You son of a bitch!
I don't think I found that one.
It's fine now. Fucking idiot.
That's another thing. Like, stuff like realizing just how good the bow and gun are. It's, like, really unexpected because in most games, those, like, sidearms suck. Like, in Bloodborne, like, it's just for parrying. There's no reason you would use the gun. But, like, in this game, the gun is fucking awesome. I also think you're going to have a much easier time now that you're not using dual swords. I mean, that already seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Because, like, stamina management is just way easier when you're not, like, epic comboing just to kill somebody. How do you get over there? It looks like there's a ladder going up to it.
Right. Yeah.
So you probably have to go. Yeah, you can just go inside the house and use the ladder to get up. I think there might be a guy in there though.
I might have already killed him.
Oh, he's under that. That's why you don't see him from the other
Fuck.
side.
What do these do?
So at the shrine, you can get a blessing from the Kodama, which just like raises some stat. Like, so let's say that guy was probably a like increases the number of health drops from enemies by 5%. So like you give like 100 gold to the Kodama and they give you this blessing. It just stays on permanently until you choose a different blessing, basically, or cancel it. That would have been a shortcut ladder that you just climbed up. So
I kicked that one down.
Yeah.
I just never use it because I'm good.
And then yeah, you just want to continue to the left.
No, why would you do that? Yeah, there's like a big fat guy you gotta fight over here.
Runo says, I found the spear fighting style super fun.
The spear was pretty cool.
I think Victor had said that this, like, I don't remember if he said he liked the spear, but I know he likes the sickle thing.
That thing was pretty cool. All the weapons are cool. I just don't know which. It's always tough when it's just like, well, I gotta put some points permanently. That's gonna affect the progress of my character.
Yeah, I mean, luckily in this game, the early game, like, leveling doesn't scale that. Like, in Dark Souls, it's like, once you've leveled up, like, 10 times, the scaling gets a lot harder. In this game, it basically just always goes up by 50 points.
So another thing that's helped already tremendously, just from you telling me, is like, oh, you're over encumbered. I didn't know that. I put on light armor. Now I, like, move twice as fast.
Right. You can also do dropping attacks if you press the attack button while you're falling.
I've played the beginning of Dark Souls 1 too many times to be scared of it because it always fails, and I always get a big dick up my butthole.
That's a good idea.
144? Unacceptable. I need 4 digits. 4-digit dome shot claws. Alright, here we go.
I think there's another guy behind him, so be careful.
Is there?
Was it? Yeah,
oh.
that guy.
Well, this game's the worst.
Ninja Jeff asks, are you more interested in speed runs that you could attempt yourself, or runs that are so difficult that your only chance of seeing it is watching someone else do it? I mean, that describes all speed runs, and to me, like, I can't think of any game I could speed run myself.
I'm gonna do the Digibro maneuver.
Alright,
just
well,
ignore everyone.
You're gonna have to go up that one ladder. That ladder, you gotta go up.
Right.
Shit. And then, yeah, you can see the wall there. You have to get past that wall before you drop back down.
Oh god, he's on my dick still. Oh, fuck! Geez. Oh, man. Fine. You want to die that badly. Oh, get fucked, you cunt.
Alright, well, this time before you leave the shrine, go up to it and you receive a Kodama blessing.
I lost all my items again.
Well, your souls, anyway.
This is the worst. This game sucks. I hate it. 0 out of 10. Can't do it. This one.
So that one will increase how many souls you get. Then Warrior Blessing, which you already have, increases armor drop rate by 1%.
Yay.
And then you got materials by 5%.
This seems the best.
You would be able, like, there's a bunch of these guys that you missed in the first half of the level that you would be able to get the Healer Blessing, which is what I was using for the whole time. Cause
increases elixir drop rate by 0%.
Well, that's currently because you don't have any guys. It would be 5% and then 10% if you get a second guy. It just keeps going up by 5, basically.
Okay. I'll do the Souls one.
What was the most recent 10 that you gave to an anime? In terms of like a new anime that came out, would be Shirobako for a TV anime. There's a chance I could, in the long run, give The Night is Short Walk On Girl a 10. I think I gave it a 9, but I really liked it.
Why? Okay.
That is a movie. The thing about these early enemies as well is that their AI is really terrible. So what I usually do is just like wait for them to attack me, and then they, you know, just like go in and completely destroy them. Because like they'll always just like, they'll often wait for you to attack, but if you just do that to them, then they will attack stupidly, and that's where you can get in there and fuck them up really good. You definitely need to heal. Nice to see that Tom is still refusing to use the key pulse. For what it's worth, it's hard to remember that shit.
I hate the key pulse. It is one of my least favorite mechanics in games.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, if it was like a button press or something, but with the fact it's like on a totally different part of the controller, and like, the timing has to be like
I always
frame
have
perfect.
my finger on R1.
Like, what's the... It's just like... It doesn't... By the time the animation finishes, like, I would have recovered anyway. This seems
well,
so
I mean,
pointless.
you're just meant to do it in the middle of... Like, it doesn't interrupt you or anything. Like, it's not a motion in itself. So you can keep attacking and, like, you know, as soon as you finish your combo, just immediately do it in combo again. And that makes it so you can just start your next combo quicker, basically. It's just a way to punish the enemy super hard.
Like, I'm sure it's good. I'm just too stupid. What can I say? I'm just too stupid.
I haven't started really using the key pulse myself either.
Because the timing has to be perfect. It's not like just hit the button. It's like, no. You gotta wait till that little animation. You have to look at yourself, which is already a bad thing to do in video games. So you gotta watch that animation. And then hit it at the right frame. But at that point, something else is already shot you. So it's just not...
Anyways, I think the best way for you to go forward would be to just like continually kill enough enemies to level up and then go level up and then just keep doing that.
And that's how I play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's just boring.
Well, you wouldn't have had to do that if you'd been leveling up from the start, but like you're like pretty under leveled, I think, for being at this part of the level. Cuz like the first half of the level, there's a lot of like offshoot areas you could explore. Like there was like a bunch of shortcuts that would take you back to the start of the level, so it was like easier to explore once I knew that. And so I had spent like a while like just fighting random dudes and like exploring and picking up other items in the early part of this level before I got here.
Do I just restart? Do I just restart the entire game?
I think you can restart an individual mission. You might have to use an item or something to do it, but there's a seppuku item that I think lets you restart a mission.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Don't need it. Don't need it when you're this bad.
Did you ever watch After the Rain? If so, what did you think of it? I don't think so. Oh wait, was that? I think that was a.
That's the one with the girl who was a teacher.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a teacher. It's just like an older guy. We watched the first couple episodes
Yeah,
of
I
it.
watched those too.
I don't want to talk about anime on I Am Games.
I want to talk about anime. Can you imagine your whole life and job being talking about anime? What a drag.
Digi and Tome just watched the PCP podcast on things you can't get into. So far, the funniest podcast I've seen. I like how Digi had an existential crisis about color, but for real, was his video yellow, or were you guys jerking him around? I mean, it's
no.
It's not worth. Like nobody was intentionally jerking him around. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, no, we were all very serious in our criticism of the temperature.
I don't even
of Jesse's
consider it a
videos.
criticism.
No, it's not even a criticism.
Yeah.
It's just a statement. A statement.
Yeah. But I think it was really more of a semantic debate about what it means for something to be yellow than it was about whether or not his video is yellow. At the end of the day.
Right, let's never talk about this.
Yeah, please, never again. Digi and Tom, what is your favorite meme of 2018? I don't really like memes.
I
For
don't.
the most part.
I don't even know what memes came out this whole.
There was the one with the white girl surrounded by the 5 black guys. That was pretty funny.
Hit or miss.
I don't want to even ever have to think about hit or miss again.
Maybe I'll be Tracer.
God, that makes me want to fucking commit suicide.
Dude, our buddy Black Griffin's finally living the real life.
Alright, hold on. Go into your items and see if you have the seppuku item that lets you restart a mission. Because I do think it'll be easier to just start this whole fucking mission over.
Usable items, new items, weapons, armor, shortcut. What are shortcut items? Oh, items you can put on a shortcut.
Yeah, it would just be in your regular items. I don't know what it's called though. It's not any of these. Keep going down. Spirit stones like just release like 500 souls apiece. So if you just use 2 of those, you could level up immediately.
Fuck you, rock.
Yeah, you can throw those rocks at people for kicks.
Large amount of key damage? Does that just drain people's stamina?
I guess so. I don't really know. I haven't used one. You got a bunch of those small boys.
I guess I don't have it.
No. Well, you could always just run back through the level and do the early part if you want.
The problem is I think I already leveled up 3 times before I did it here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you leveled up like twice, I think.
Because like I had 7 skills. I'm assuming these all start at 5.
Yeah.
So I had 2 there. No, I put 2 in there. I already put 3 in. 2 in the skill and 1 in the dexterity.
Uh-huh.
So I'm already gonna be 3 levels lower than anything I try and do. So I'm already fucking gimped out of the gate.
I mean, I don't think those 3 levels are a big deal. Like I said, I think I literally had leveled up like 20 times by the end of this level.
Alright. I'll just go all the way fucking back then.
But there's definitely areas that I don't think you explored yet.
Oh, I'm sure. I didn't know this was an explorer kind of game.
Yeah, I didn't either, because like it is mission based, so I didn't really think of it as like exploration, but there is like a lot of just like hidden stuff, especially like if you break everything in the environments, a lot of the times like those kodamas are hidden underneath like random shit.
Wow.
Is this your recording quality or does this look like a PS2 game? It's the recording quality and we're not sure why. Because we started up Streamlabs and it was in 480p standard def.
Well, we were streaming PS2 all weekend.
Right, but we switched to PS4 and it didn't change that.
Yeah, it's still technically in 4.3 at 480p.
Yeah, we just stretched the 4.3 so it looks like fucking dick. No idea why that's happening.
Oh god, why are there so many dudes? What is happening right now?
Phoenix 19 says, my favorite meme was May's dad singing Maybe I'll Be Tracer.
Mine too.
The big brain memes from 2018, you said you like those a lot. Those are from
Oh,
before.
fucking cunt ass son of a cunt.
The
fucker.
Galaxy brain shit was from like 2017.
This is impossible. This is impossible. How are you supposed to fight 6 guys at once when one guy can kill you in 1 hit?
I don't know, I killed all those guys. It was fucking awesome. That was the moment when I officially declared this game to be ill, was when I killed all those guys without dying.
Well, I hate this game.
You keep trying to attack that guy first. Just
yeah,
like,
I want to fucking stab him in the back.
well, in this game, like, enemies become alerted to you, like, no matter what. I don't think there's any backstabbing at all.
I mean, there is like a little extra animation, and you do double damage hitting them from behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
So it's totally possible. It's just gay.
I've never been able to approach an enemy without alerting them, so...
Even if you hit them from behind, even when they're alerted, you can double damage.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's very shinobi.
I'm sure they do the same to you, because,
Oh,
like...
dude, every enemy in this game is just another you. They have stances, they have charge moves.
Right.
That's why it's the worst game ever made. Dilemma.
You guys think I Am Games could make more money if you were streaming on YouTube?
No. See that little like slash? That's a double damage.
It really would depend on where we were streaming and like what our audience is about. Like the thing about YouTube is that you largely rely on super chats, and like you can't really milk that too much because it's like the same people are the ones who are gonna donate. So it's like if you fucking do a live stream and you get a ton of super chats and then you do another one 2 days later, you're not gonna get those same people super chatting.
Oh my god!
Money. You want me to play a little bit?
No!
Can make
you already played. You already beat the game. You already sucked God's dick and like inherited his cum powers. I haven't done shit yet.
Go into your menu and see if there is some way to quit mission. I'm not sure if it's possible, but
I think I'm like still in the tutorial, so it's not allowing me to do anything. This is still the intro.
Really consider this
like it expects you to be good enough to do this, and unfortunately, that almost felt like Devil May Cry. I just did a combo and the enemy died. Whoa, it's fucking...
Oh, that's another thing you haven't done. Go into your menu and go to the third thing, learn skills.
I did a few of these.
Yeah, you get skill points pretty often, so you've got a bunch.
There's just so much here, dude.
Yeah,
it's the
but
paradox of choice. I'm
just read, because like some of them are stance dependent and some
yeah.
and they're all weapon dependent. So like a lot of them might be key pulse shit. I don't bother with any of that. But some of them are like press like hold square and you'll do like a spinny attack, and that's like mega useful, you know, shit like that. Why aren't I Am Game streams officially uploaded to the channel? I know they're in the playlist, but why not maintain a constant flow of content to build your subscriber base and game the algorithm? Because people do not like live stream recordings in general. That is... I've seen plenty of channels that cannot grow because they do that. Obviously, Prereq was a big example, but another one is there's this one channel that does like they're going through the entire like PS1 library and doing videos about them. And their channel is pretty interesting, and they've had a few big hit videos, but because they mostly upload Twitch streams, like they have barely any subscribers. I won't sub a channel if I see that they're posting too many live stream recordings, so I totally get that. Does Tom know how to shield?
I do, but I never guarded any game ever.
Me neither. I always forget you can. The guard is really good in this game, though. Like, most enemies will just bounce off of you.
Yeah, but
like, you have to get hit like 5 times before they break your guard.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, it probably drains a lot of stamina.
No, it doesn't even drain stamina. Like, literally, you can just perfect block, but you have, like, if you get hit a certain number of times, then you'll get, you know, knocked off balance, and they can punish you really bad. Like, if you just block, like, the first hit that they do, it's,
I just wasted a point, man.
What'd you do?
Well, because this skill is the same slot as another skill, so you can only have one skill that does the same thing.
Oh, that has the same button.
Yeah. I figured since this was in high stance, it would replace it in high stance. And the other one would work all the time. But no. You only picked them. Whatever. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep going, and when I rage quit, I'll just start the whole game over, because who cares?
Mime Thing says, enemies literally cannot be approached. Meanwhile, in Vic and Hope, you can stand literally 2 feet away and not be noticed by an enemy for half a minute. Well, I'm talking about, like, when you come at them. Like, yeah, if you're standing 2 feet away, then they're not going to do anything. But, like, if you get within a range where in Dark Souls you could backstab them, they will notice. Like, you do have the chance, like, while they're drawing their weapon to, like, hit them before they could hit you. But, you know, unless you're just meant to, like, really slow walk up to them or something. How do you feel about the recent COTcast? I assume you mean the live one. I didn't watch it yet since I was doing a PCP at the time. Do you think you'll play Nioh 2, or does that remain to be seen? I mean, if I end up liking Nioh, I'll probably play Nioh 2. I have enjoyed it so far. I played like 5 hours of it, and I was pretty like mindlessly just like in it. it was very easy to get lost in the
Yeah,
gameplay loop.
666, motherfucker. When does Neo 2 even come out?
Next year, sometime.
Man, when's Devil May Cry 5?
Oh yeah, there is this has been a super useful skill that I think you could get right now, which is just when you dodge, you key pulse automatically.
What?
Yeah, and I've been using that
Are
the
you
whole time.
fucking
I completely
insane?
forgot. Yeah.
Hashtag break the game.
You just gotta dodge at the right, like at the same moment when you normally would press R1, and it key pulses for you. It's pretty ill. You should have the ability to just get that, I think.
Dual swords. Oh, they're all like different ninja. Dude.
Yeah,
you can't be a ninja and this game.
After you beat this level, you meet Hattori Hanzo, and he teaches you ninja skills.
Allows you to ready 7 shuriken. Shuriken of the quicker. So is this game just like you becoming a ninja? Is that like the narrative?
It might very well be. Digi or Tom, have you guys heard about the lady who was in a unconscious vegetated state for years, got pregnant and giving birth with no one knowing? So the hospital is going around and taking the DNA of all the male doctors. But seriously, how do we not know that this woman is not the new Virgin Mary and this baby is the new Jesus?
Well,
that's fucking crazy.
It's pretty hilarious.
Did they find the baby? Like, I assume if she got pregnant and gave birth without anyone noticing, then how did they, like, how long did it take before they noticed the baby?
Probably noticed that she was pregnant.
This says nobody noticed. It's nuts.
Crazy. I don't believe that.
Neo 3 will be the story of Ninja Jeff's ghost running around the yokai world in search for a ghost sword to ghost seppuku himself.
Is it this? High stance only enables you to use key pulses even when dodging?
Yeah. It says it, like, it's phrased like that, but the reality is that it just auto key pulses when you dodge.
I need 5 skill points for this. I need 2.
Yeah, well, you'll get them pretty naturally just by... Because of the fact that I have exclusively been using the axe, I have already, like, more skill points than I know what to do with. Because you can't unlock, like, all skills at all times. Like, some of them require you to beat certain levels before you can unlock them. You shouldn't even go that way. You don't need to go that way. Go to the right.
Yeah, but I feel like the dude's gonna materialize. I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, just run past him, dude, and unlock a shortcut or something.
That's the game. Oh god.
Alright, go, run straight forward and to your right, right. No.
That's the right. This is the right.
Yeah, I meant a hard right. Like, when I say right, I mean, like, right angle, you know? Like, phew. Yeah, let me see that for just a second. I just want to unlock a shortcut real quick. Because I know exactly what to do. It'll just make it so you don't have to constantly run to the same spot.
I officially have to play the game all over again because, like, you're doing something, which means I didn't technically beat the game now.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't. I'll just run to this. I'll just run to the spot and let you press the button. How about that? Would that be good enough?
I don't know. I didn't get to the spot on my own. I guess I didn't beat the game.
I could just get there and then let myself die, just so you saw the path. So, oh shit! I was trying to get you to go right down here.
That was a straight. That wasn't right.
Well, it was, you know, it's confusing when you're constantly changing direction.
I guess I'll give you that.
And then right here is where you can push down this water onto that fire.
Oh, so you can just go straight instead of having to go around everywhere.
Yeah. And then
look at that guy, he's ugly as shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
You gotta fight him with your fucking fists. Kick his ace.
Fisticuffs.
I've finally woken from my coma. I have a baby? What the fuck? Which are better, JRPGs or WRPGs? I'm voting JRPGs because I have no real interest in WRPGs, with the exception
WRPGs
of...
are so gay that you just made up that acronym. Doesn't even. It's not even.
What?
Oh,
That's a real
oh,
acronym.
oh no! I've never heard of any. I've heard the term Western RPGs, but I've never heard it abbreviated WRPG. Just because it's quicker to say Western than W.
That's true. How was the mini Radcon? It was good. Everything went well.
3.33 was good. Yeah.
The discussions that we were there to have went well and made progress. The podcast was good. The stream was profitable. I memed us into making a bunch of money.
It was great.
There was a cast live.
Recorded the PCP on video. It's cool.
For a second, even Econ was there. There's not even any video evidence of that.
No. You know, this was a great opportunity to
Oh,
have...
also, these big guys do not respawn, I don't think, after you kill them.
Yeah, they're...
So, now you can go and fucking level
Is it like a voice saying something right now? I hear like a really weird sound effect.
Have you noticed that, like, when you pick up items, like, you'll, like, hear the voices of the dead, like their final regrets after dying or whatever?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was, like, a narrative thing.
I think that's just their version of... Because, like, in Dark Souls, you read item descriptions that tell you something about the world. And in this game, it's like the environmental storytelling is just, like, hearing the voices of the dead, I guess. Hell yeah. So you see, like, in the last, like, 1 minute, you have made, like, more progress than the entire time leading up to this, because you killed a permanently dead enemy, you collected a bunch of weapons, which you will keep even if you die, you opened a shortcut, which stays open even if you die. So it's like, just by doing those 3 things, you've, like, completely moved past a section of level you were stuck on. That you'll never have to play again, unless you want to.
Your brother did the 2009 to 2013.
Oh my god,
He
Shade
looks
was a fucking
just like
baby.
you.
Literally aged from 10 to 20. He looked a lot like me when he was younger. Now he looks exactly like my dad at his age. How was the mushrooms you did with Zen? We did fucking acid, dude, not mushrooms. It was alright. We did not end up tripping because it wasn't strong enough, I guess. But we had a really fun night. We were up all night because we couldn't sleep. In German, we also often don't say JRPG, but Japano Rollenspiel. That's a ladder you can knock down once you get up there.
Yeah. Oh, there's another dude up there. Good. I gotta get up there. I gotta get up there. I gotta get up where the people are.
That ladder that I climbed before, I think is...
How you get up there?
Actually, if you just run into that bridge and go to the left, I think that's also a path up there. Oh shit.
Try.
Axe boy. Just fucking ran his own stamina out instantly. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've noticed this because we're not playing with full sound, but like every time an enemy sees you, it plays like a whoosh sound effect.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah, so like you can always tell. Like sometimes I'll enter a room and I'll just hear a noise, and I'm like, oh shit, I better be on guard because like I don't see the enemy, but I know they saw me.
It sounds like it'd be very helpful.
It would be.
Oh no, I didn't get it. When in air, press triangle. This is trying to be a teaching moment, but I am an idiot.
I mean, they would have already told you that a few times so far. Like, throughout this first level, it keeps repeating stuff from the tutorial, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't bother. You'll probably hurt yourself with this height. That's the ladder that you were looking at before.
Fell to death is how he died, and yet he's up here.
I guess it's like Bloodstains in Dark Souls, where it's like a few meters before their death. If you go left off this roof, there's some items down there too. Yeah.
Yoink.
Like, this is what I mean by like exploration. Like, you didn't have to do that just now, and like it never would have led you that way normally. But like, extra shit. There's a Kodama. And those guys stay like between levels. I guess you probably find them all pretty fucking quickly because I already have like a ton of them at my shrine. It might be that they're like regional or something. I'm not sure. Digi, in the recent podcast, May said they can hear you guys talk about Mumkey upstairs. What else is there to talk about him, Digi, other than he got an interview with The Verge and he got Keemstar to cover the story? I don't even know. I don't know what we were talking about at the time.
I have no idea.
I mean, you'll hear it because the podcast literally was just recorded while the PCP episode was being recorded. So it's like they are the same length. They are parallel. You just gotta wait till Friday.
No.
But there's plenty to talk about Mumkey with like our whole group because I mean like you know, Mumkey was involved with Asperger. Asperger's involved with Jackie. Michelle talks to Jackie. And Ben used to date her. So it's like our social circles are pretty well integrated, I would say.
Oh God. That's some fancy shit.
Not to mention, people are constantly asking us questions about how we feel about the current Mumkey situation.
Not good. That was my answer.
Obama joins the PCP when? Trump joins the PCP when?
These are all very good questions.
PCP bonus episode where they all try PCP when?
That'll be the last episode.
Only 56 viewers today, I wonder why. Probably because we didn't really do anything to hype it, because we kind of were last minute.
I don't know about you, but I feel pretty drained right now.
Alright, so when you exit through this door, if you just hang a hard right and go straight up like a path that you see, there'll be another shortcut over there. So, and then go left from here. That pathway up, if you just follow up that, there's a door you'll unlock that'll go directly to the shrine. That red door that was next to it.
Oh, right, right.
And that's the last shortcut before the boss. Like, the boss fight is just if you run up to the boat, the boss fight initiates. So you could do it basically at any time, but again, it might be wise to level up. You've got 2,000 souls, so you could level up, like, at least twice.
You fucking bitch. He just happened to move his spear in just the right way to block the arrow. Oh, what a bitch.
Lucky boy.
Oh god, why is that going on so? I have no healing items either. So.
I wouldn't even fight him. Just go to unlock that shortcut before you die.
I gotta go fast.
Beautiful.
God, there was just a bar there. He's still in my dick. Still wants me dead. Still wants to dance.
Yeah, but at least if you die to him right here, your souls will be right next to you.
True.
Oh, well, that's exactly what happened.
I hate this game so much, it's not even fun. I say that, and I'm only half serious, but there is half seriousness there. How disgusting.
Yeah. So at this point, like I said, you have access to the boss. It's just a question of would you rather hang around and level up more and fucking explore?
I
or...
clearly am special needs when it comes to this game, so I should level up like 50 more times, then maybe I can get 10% of the boss stuff down. It seems to be about my speed.
The boss isn't super difficult. He's very slow, but he does do a fuckload of damage, so it's like he can fucking just kill you pretty quick.
So he's like every other enemy in the game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Level up once.
Yeah, you have a bunch of Amarita stones, though, that you could use to fill in the rest of your...
It's true. I might as well use them now.
If you just use one of the big ones, it'll be enough. It's just regular spirit stone.
Why would I want to set that as a shortcut?
I don't know.
Just keep doing heart, I guess.
Why do you keep doing heart?
Because it affects sword.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I don't know if that...
Because I mean, the main thing it gives you is more ki, which you don't easily get. Like, I've been putting all my stuff into strength, which does not give you any more ki. So it's like, I don't have any more stamina than I had at the start of the game. But I don't really use much stamina because I just use, like, 2 big hits to kill guys. But, like, strength and body will both give you life. And I consider it most important to have, like, a huge life bar so I can take more hits. Body gives you the most additional life.
I feel like I don't know enough about this game to make these permanent decisions. Because I don't know how I want to play it yet. So I'm just like, maybe I want to... I mean,
another good thing about this game is you can go back through levels and play them again. So, like, you know, if you fucked up your... Like, if you eventually determined what you wanted the most, then you could go back and just, like, grind up whatever thing you wanted the most. You probably are not going to want to level magic or spirit, because, like... I, don't see you using magic as your primary mode of attack or anything.
Is there even a way to use magic? I don't even know what that would
I don't
do.
think you've unlocked any yet. Like, I think it'll come later.
That's like how much weight you can carry. How much
Yeah.
weight you can carry.
I mean, doing that will make it so you can wear heavier armor without encumbering yourself.
I guess that is kind of cool. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with what I already know. I'm gonna be gay. I dodge roll all the time, so I'm just gonna do that.
Pancakes with Crackers says, Digi or Tome in psychology. That's T-O-M-E, in case you're wondering why I keep saying Tome.
I figured there was some weird spelling thing going on right now.
Digi or Tome in psychology, the 5 tastes are sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and what else? Note, spice is not a taste but an allergic reaction. You can tell because it can cause swelling and numbness, plus spice food kills buds on your tongue, which is why when you keep eating spicy foods, it's less spicy when you stop. So sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and savory, right? I assume? Or is that just a food type? No, thank you. Says Tom seems a lot less stressed this stream. That is nice.
I've just kind of resigned myself to the fact that I will never be good at this game. It's just a matter of like slowly dragging my bloodied corpse across the finish line over the course of like 2 or 3 years at the rate I'm going.
I think you would benefit from just like maybe watching Vic and Hope play or something, just to like see because like what got me used to it was figuring out like the natural rhythm of combat. And I guess I would describe it as just think of it as like a realistic sword battle. Like act as though your life is actually on the line and think of what you would do.
I would run away. I would just run away.
That's true. I just think of like the Castlevania speech that Ego Raptor gave, where he's like, you would cautiously approach. I think he's wearing a helmet.
Alright, according to Wanko Tokurasa, 3 tastes are soy sauce, salty sweet, and mayonnaise.
Of course. Soy sauce, salty sweet, and mayonnaise. That's like my favorite line from
No
Wanko Tokurasa. The only thing that men care about, I think, is how he described it.
For men.
Yeah. Ohio gozai, Mark. I realized we hadn't actually said that yet.
Yeah, bitch. You didn't do me. Fucked up.
I don't know, I definitely feel like I'm using stamina all the time to like dodge and move around. Wow.
Pro tip, you can also use Amarita stones tactically mid-combat like purple orbs to fuel your devil trigger. I see. So that's what the incentive would be to use it. I have never once remembered to actually use the so-called devil trigger in combat.
Ah!
Is dot hack actually good or is it just the OST? It is just the OST, my dude. Exclusively.
I want to die. Alright. Sword. I'm gonna keep experimenting with other shit.
Digi, you were talking about the level/environment layout in Dragon Quest XI was really boring. Could you elaborate on that, since the environments in DQ11 are the one thing people really praise since it has so many unique towns/cities and dungeons? I mean, it sounds like, from what you're describing, that they're praising the amount, but it's just that, like, and granted, I played very little of the game. I've only played for, like, less than 2 hours and sold it back to Steam, but, like, just the areas didn't look or feel interesting to explore. It was just, like, a lot of narrow walkways. It was just, like, you know, one hallway leading to another hallway, climb a ladder, you're in another hallway, you know, it was all very flat and plainal. Like, I appreciate, like, more free-form vertical levels, like what you would get in a Souls game, for instance. Or just stuff like if I'm playing a JRPG that's very linear, I prefer if it would focus on, like, just showing me cool vistas. Like, that's why I like pre-rendered backgrounds a whole lot, because they usually are, you know, like, they choose the coolest camera angle to show you their location from.
It looks like not a hammer. Okay.
Yeah, it's just an axe style item. If you want, you can go those houses behind you. One of them has a demon that you can fight inside of it, and then open a big ass treasure chest. But you have to get into it through the roof by jumping down the cliffside. Yeah, I won't hold the roof. I think there's also an item behind that. Yeah, one of those big spicy demons is in there. You might want to heal before you go down. Apparently I was right about Savory. Have you watched Trinity Blood? Have you seen Trinity Blood?
Heard of it, have not seen it.
The main character is pretty similar to Vashti Stampede. The CG holds up completely, and it's the most well-animated, deepest story on anime. Vampires,
oh god, move! Oh, son of a...
chicks, and dudes wielding swords against guns. It's the deepest shit ever. The adaptation is never finished, though. I never watched it when it was on Toonami because it looked really boring.
Looks like I slaughtered that guy.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. And now you get a big fucking treasure chest reward.
I don't know, dude. Axe is kind of cool so far. I switched to Axe, and I'm kind of wrecking
Axe has been my dude. Like, I've been using high stance Axe the whole fucking game. And the very first, like, red bloodstain enemy that you can fight in this level dropped, like, for me at least, an Axe that was so good I have not had to replace it. Although I haven't fought any other of those guys who had axes, so it's possible I could have a better one. It's definitely a game where, like, I find myself legitimately tempted to just go back through levels over and over again until I've done absolutely everything, because it's just like,
it's all about
how much better could I get before I moved on? You know, like, how much max could I min? If you cross the speech all the way to that gate that was over there, there's like some more shit past that that gate. Some items and a Kodama's over there. Actually, you can see the Kodama from here. You gotta walk through the shallow water to get to him.
I'm just gonna try not to get hit by these fucking arrows.
Yeah, thankfully arrow boys usually go down in like one fucking hit. So. But do not fall off that bridge, because it's not shallow there.
I can't swim apparently.
No, you cannot swim. You will fucking just fall off a sheer cliff. It's pretty annoying.
Like all samurai, I was never taught to swim.
Interesting that that guy had a American voice, because usually they are Japanese voices. Do not fall there.
There's no thing over there, though?
Yeah, but you just walk through the water, not over here, but back where you were.
Oh.
There's like a little patch of shallow water. If you can see the ground underneath your feet in the water, then you're safe. So you just gotta like watch where you're walking.
But if I went over there, that's just...
Yeah, you would just die instantly if you walked off that ledge.
disgusting.
It's pretty annoying.
I'm not even wearing heavy armor. I could understand if I was wearing like heavy armor, I just sank. But I'm light armor right now.
Why are you guys so off-brand? Did you sell all your shirts to the PCP members? No, we are not, like, nobody's buying the shirts, and it's you know, it's just a little
sword. That's purple.
Harakiri sword. So that's the one you can use to kill yourself to restart a level.
But it's purple.
Yeah.
Why is Mage trying to kill me? Squire Juminori.
Mime thinks that the general aesthetic of DQ is the most generic thing ever. Look at all the other big JRPGs. Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Shin Megami Tensei, even Pokemon. They're all really weird and surreal and take many different inspirations, while DQ is just always the most generic medieval high fantasy bullshit that's been done to death for literal millennia. Well, it is kind of the first. They kind of laid their flag in the ground there, you know. Some people want that. Sonics96 says, "Come on, Tom, you can do it. I believe in you."
I'm glad you think so.
In Shekels per Heckle stream, I believe you used the wrong mic. Everyone but Nate was way quiet. Just wanted to have said that. I'm concerned.
Me too.
Then about the, because I heard that. I did listen to it, and Nate was way louder than us. We had two microphones plugged in, but we had it down mixed to mono, and it's possible that because like I was seeing two audio channels going up, but it's possible that that was just one mic. And if that's true, then the same is true of the PCP episode we recorded. So it's possible that our PCP episode has really fucked audio, and we don't know it yet. That, or it was just because it was a stream. It's hard to know. Unless I go over there and check.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to find out.
Did you know there's a website where you can play a bunch of 90s visual novels in browser for free, and it's fucking sick? Can't post links here, but look up the Asenheim Project. Oh yeah, they're all porn, of course. Well, that sounds pretty lit. I mean, I don't play visual novels because they're boring, but
Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna go explore, because I'm clearly still under... If you leveled up like 20 times, I've leveled up 6. I'm clearly still under level for this boss.
yeah. How much do you need for your next level up, do you know?
I think it's more than I have.
You have some stones though, so you could probably just use one of those and hit the amount you needed.
It's true. Let's find out.
Yeah, 2,000. I think you have enough stones to reach that. Between you have one big one and like 6 or 7 small ones.
Yeah, I'm good. I have 11.
And 2 big ones.
I guess I picked up more. Oh, you can use more than one at a time.
Did you watch any Nickelodeon growing up? Only at my friend's house. I was very anti-Nickelodeon. Digi, if I post my Topsters chart, will you tell me how shit my taste is? Sure. I mean, I doubt it's that shit. Or if I even know what any of the shit is that's on your list. Spicy Salt says, Digi and Tom, how much for a signed I Am Games shirt? You know, dude, you know.
You know, because you're the one who bought it.
Digi or Tom, do you guys ever have it when typing or writing where your mind is farther into the paper than your hands are and it messes you up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not often, but I think it's happened.
It's when you're really excited to get something down, that's when it's most... I did it.
So Digi, I know you watched Oldboy, but have you checked out any of Park Chan-wook's other films? I don't think so. Pretty much the only Korean movies I've seen are Oldboy and The Host. Have you seen The Host, Tom?
I can't remember if I watched it or not. I remember when it like came out and people were like talking about it.
You should definitely watch it, dude. It's a fucking kaiju movie. It's ill. It's a very weird movie. It's like
Revive TokuCast.
It's like a social commentary. I don't know if it's a toku because it's like a CG. I think it's CG. If I remember correctly.
Well, just in general, #Revive TokuCast.
Yeah. I actually just I just did a poll for my patrons, like asking them what, like, aside from like my main content that like is guaranteed to come out, like what side stuff are they the most interested in? I put a list of 20 like video ideas / like series continuations, like what are you guys interested in? And TokuCast got the least votes out of everything in the list.
Well, your audience is
nobody
shit.
cared at all.
You already know.
I was like, damn. Even I wanted TokuCast more than these guys do. But I mean, I guess the view counts were never very high, so I'm not too shocked by that.
God. Is there anything worse than an anime fan? Their taste is terrible.
It's true.
How would you not want to watch the fucking Epic Adventures in Jesus Town? Oh, I'm gonna watch things with like animation and quality and budget and story and characterization. No! We gotta go to Jesus Town, you fucking idiots!
Hokkaido was legit awesome.
Dude, there's so much more. If you want to like be inspired to watch more TokuCast, just follow Toku Gifs on Twitter. Get back on Twitter and just unfollow everybody except Toku Gifs. Like, dude, Christmas came around and there was a fucking sick gif from I think it was Gokaiger. And it was just like, they did like a special Christmas episode where the red and green dudes combined, and it was like half red, half green, and it was Gokaiger Christmas, and he beat the shit out of enemies.
That's fucking hilarious.
How do you not want more TokuCast, people?
Digi, I just started Dark Souls 3. I'm stuck in High Wall of Lothric. Does farming and overleveling pay off in Dark Souls? Absolutely. I mean, you, like, even more so than in this game, in Dark Souls, you really got to know, like, what playstyle are you going for? Because, I know I've said this before, but you press triangle and circle at the same time, and you'll go into Devil Trigger, and you could fuck all these guys up.
It's time to fight.
Oh, God.
That didn't work at all.
No. If you had pressed it again, you would have used, like, your super attack with it.
No, there was a super attack.
Yeah, like your guy like flies around and kills everybody around you. It looks exactly like a photon blast from PSO. I guess your thing's already filling right back up though. I guess you just usually have it when you have your guardian spirit, because like your guardian spirit guards your souls when you die.
Right.
So you don't have it on you, but I guess if you do have it on you, you can use it pretty frequently because it already filled back up. You DM'd me the chart on Discord. I'm not signed into my Discord. I'm on Tom's computer. Anyway, what I was saying is, like, I always just put all my points into strength and vitality and just become, like, really OP in the Souls games. Because, like, you just gotta think about, like, what is causing you problems in the game. If you're being caused problems because you die too quickly, then having more vitality means you will not die so quickly. If you're having problems of enemies don't die quickly enough, more strength means enemies will die more quickly. If you're just generally not doing enough damage and you haven't been upgrading your weapons, that is your problem. Like, upgrading the weapons is far more important than leveling up in a Souls game. So make sure you're going to the blacksmith and make sure your weapon is always at the highest level it can be for whatever part of the game you're at. I literally think that, like, the vast majority of people who took like 90 hours to get through Dark Souls 1, it's because they never started upgrading weapons. Because, I mean, in fairness, it's confusing if you don't know about it. When I was playing fucking, in fact, like, when I got to Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1, that's the point where, like, if you are not upgrading your weapon, you will be fucked. However, it's possible by that point in the game to have a, like, max level weapon if you know, like, where to get the materials for it. So, like, legit, I went from, like, struggling at that part and starting to get sick of the game to, like, I think Shade picked up the controller for me and was like, what the fuck, you haven't upgraded your weapon past 3? You could have a plus 10 by now. And I was like, what? So I went and got a plus 10 and then came back and just fucking destroyed the whole area. I imagine Ghibli Cast was on top of the list. Actually, the top of the list was a potential... Well, I already organized it, but me and Nate are going to do Shield Hero Weekly.
God. Yeah, that is what would be the top of the list, wouldn't it?
Yeah, biggest show of the season. Seasonal discussion.
I hate anime. I don't at all. But I hate anime.
Why? What's wrong with Shield Hero?
No. You know what? I take it back. I love anime. I hate anime fans. There you go.
Okay.
And by I hate anime fans, I just hate people.
It's funny because, like, I think there's been, like, a lot of negativity around the show, but I expect both Nate and I to pretty much like it. Because I've read the manga. The manga's pretty good. So, unless they really fucked up the adaptation, then,
It's definitely possible.
Then it should be fine.
How's the general reception going so far? People are into it?
I don't really know. I mean, apparently there was controversy surrounding it because it's edgy, but that's just the way things are now, you know? I think it really was just, like, residual, like people threw a whole shit fit about the rape in Goblin Slayer, and there's, like, attempted rape, well, not even really attempted rape, just, like, accusations of rape and, like, themes of slavery in Shield Hero, but I don't think anything that happens in it is what I would describe as problematic in any way, so I don't really get why. I think people just wanted something to be mad about, you know?
I mean, that sounds like people. Where's the sword at? I had a cool sword. Where'd it go?
When are you going to finish Star Trek The Next Generation, you absolute plebe? When the episodes stop being an hour long and there stops being 130 of them. Which is never going to happen. But, I'm sure I'll find time one day. He said while making a jacking off motion with his other hand that's off screen.
So, this sword is like has like half the base attack, but because I have more points in the sword skill, it does almost as much damage as an axe.
Oh yeah?
Because this is a 131 and this is like 110. The sword is like 70, but because I'm more familiar with it, it's only 6 points less.
Huh. I didn't know familiarity was that important. Yeah, all I have familiarity in is my axe, because it's all I've been using.
I didn't realize that either. So I can like swing like a sword.
Oh, have you also looked at hit R, like go down for your menu here for a bit. Titles. Go to the titles one. So this is, go to title list and you'll understand what it is. It's basically like you know, you get titles for every time you do a certain amount of something. Looks like you're about to get another title for Key Manipulator.
How am I doing key damage?
I think it's just when you knock like enemies, when you like damage their key, like when you take them off guard and stuff, because you have a tendency to attack enemies who are blocking, and that damages their endurance, I think, something like that. But anyways, go back and go to prestige summary, and now you can use these prestige. Every time you get a title, you earn a prestige point, and you use those to get like extra benefits. You've got two different charts, so if you press R1, you'll go to the other. So you got Ungyo and Agyo prestige points, and like when you get one of these things, a new one will come in that's completely different. So like say if you just click right now, you will just immediately be doing more damage against human enemies, and then like some other benefit that you can now unlock will come in place of it. Again, there's a lot of fucking shit in this game.
This is very complicated.
Yeah.
Gold? I didn't realize I was getting gold. What's gold for?
You have a bunch of it. You don't lose it when you die, but like all I've been able to use it for so far is the Kodamas. I think you use it in between levels when you go to the blacksmith, because there's this little like one-eyed blacksmith girl who will like do all kinds, like there's a whole bunch of shit the blacksmith can do. I didn't understand any of it, so I haven't done any of it yet. But again, there's a lot going on in this fucking game. What aesthetics in games and anime do you wish were more widespread? For example, Biopunk in Nausicaa. Well, that's one. I'm a big fan of the like in games there's been a lot of these like all like neon pink and blue kind of aesthetics, and I really like that, and I wish more anime would do it. I also am big into like the purple and yellow aesthetic. There's a obscure 90s OVA called Lika-chan no Fushigi Namaho no Ring that had a really cool aesthetic that I'd love to see more of. Digi and Tome, sorry for spelling your name wrong. I work as an assistant for my family business in making gravestones, so I write tome many times. Mob Psycho 102 is fun, not mind-blowing, but it's fun to watch.
I didn't know that was out.
Yeah. The season is underway, my dude. I think it's probably got at least 2 episodes out by now. Speaking about podcasts with Nate, Arrow Manga OVA just came out. I'll float it by him. Digi, is there such thing as too much animation in a show or movie? If a lot of shows had the potential to be animated just like Akira, could it be a double-edged sword where it could come too fast that it fucks up the pacing? I mean, I do think over-animation is a thing. I don't know if... Like, I don't think inherently... If a movie had animation for every single second, that would inherently be a bad thing. But I do think that there are some works that, like, try to animate stuff that is not necessary and it comes off awkward. I would levy that accusation at like the like Grimgar and like everything directed by that guy. You've got enough souls to level up, I think.
I think you're right. I think it was a 25, I'm at 31 right now. They should have just called them souls. Amarita.
Yeah. No one's ever gonna... Same with fucking in Bloodborne, they call it Blood Echoes. It's like, that's way too many syllables.
I just called them echoes because I never played souls ever. So
True.
I'm gonna go... I'm gonna get double digits on heart.
Digi, favorite Tarantino movie? I'm undecided. It's been too long since I watched them. Like, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Inglourious Bastards are all like the greatest movie of all time. So,
dude, I got the gold Neo armor just like you did.
Digi, I checked out the Tales of Vesperia anime film and I was surprised that a film to tie into a game was so decent and not a train wreck. The screenplay was done by Yoshida Reiko and animated by Production IG. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Victor enjoyed it, more or less. Kata no Kyokai's overuse of camera movement in later fight scenes. I'm not a huge fan of the fights from like Kata no Kyokai 5. I think they're overrated as shit. Not all of them are, but like.
Dude, I'm turning into a gold boy.
I gotta piss.
Assuming this is all heavy items. Alright, equipment rate. Too much. 113%. Shit, but I'm so cool now. Oh, that's never mind.
You should go into the boons thing and see if it gives you free shit.
I just got all the gold armor, but it's way too heavy, so.
Oh yeah, the Neo armor. Yeah. But do you I'm sure you can appreciate how like once you've opened up all the shortcuts and like you've had the experience of seeing like all the enemies dead, it's like a bit more comforting. It's like, okay, I know the area now, so at least I'm not just like running around wondering where the fuck do I go and like dying over and over again and feeling like I'm making no progress. It's like the level is clear. I'm just here to level up a few more times before I proceed, you know?
Right.
Digi, what are your thoughts on Evolution Worlds? I remember you mentioning it in an anime vid when you were talking about how shitty a hallway looked. I just remember it being like a really generic and basic dungeon crawling RPG. And like I was curious about returning to it, but then I read some shit about it, and it seems like generally it was not really that beloved
at any point. You're gonna have to return to it, dude, because it's on GameCube. You saw on the screen.
Surprisingly, in that Patreon poll I described, there was like a lot more people seemed excited about me covering Pikmin than even like Tales of Symphonia.
Dude, people love Pikmin.
I guess so. Like, I've seen some like a lot of enthusiasm because I played a little bit of it for the Let's Play that's in my Digibro Care package from last month, and there were like several people, even among that group, who were like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite games." I'm like, "Well, damn." With such a small sample size, that's pretty good odds. So maybe I'll do my Pikmin video sooner than I thought.
Fuck.
Xia says, most important thing to master in this game is key pulsing after every attack that consumed a lot of stamina. It works kind of like active reload from Gears. That was what I said. That like the timing of it is almost exactly the same as the active reload timing. But once you get that thing that lets you just do it by dodging, it's like, you'll do it automatically a lot of the time. It's pretty ill. Hey Digi, do I watch Uchu Senkan Tiramisu? I don't watch it because it looks like another comedy anime. It is a comedy anime, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. So, there you go. I mean, if you don't like comedy, then I guess don't watch it.
I'll do my photon burn.
I really don't understand like the relationship that most Western anime fans seem to have to comedy shows. I don't know if it's just that like they can't get into the style of Japanese comedy or what, but like anime comedies are always underrated. Like any of the good ones. Unless they're, well, I won't say always, because there's the only shows that, like, it seems like all the anime comedy that does get highly rated in the West is stuff that I don't give a shit about. Like fucking Osomatsu-san or like Daily Lives of High School Boys. Like I thought those were both boring. But like Uchu Senkan Tiramisu has like a 6.3 on Mal, and I thought it was the funniest shit of the year. But you know, I guess Gintama is the one that gets the attention it deserves. But then like, it seems like a lot of Gintama fans like the show more for its serious arcs. And I don't understand that either. Like, not to say that those arcs aren't amazing, but it's like, dude, why people no like a comedy? Alright, No Thank You really wants me to look at his fucking top albums list that he posted in the I Am Games Discord. I have to wonder why they aren't making a new game. Berseria didn't bomb, I think, right? Well, they just released the Tales of Vesperia HD remake for the Switch. So, there's that. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody should watch Gintama. It's better than whatever else you're gonna watch. But yes, it is long as fuck, and that makes it hard to do. God, why is Discord taking time? Right now? No, not even slightly.
How can you recommend it? What if it sucks?
I've like watched episodes of later seasons just.
What the fuck? I had a ton of HP, and that was like a little baby guy. What the fuck just happened?
Okay, so here's No Thank You's chart. He's got his number one is Suman Ne by Shinsei Kamate-chan, which was my favorite, my number one for many years. So obviously I feel similarly. Number two is Velvet Underground. I never really got into it. Then he's got Ex-Military by Death Grips, which is also in my top 5. Let's see, we got I Hate God. Never listened. Leviathan. They're pretty good, I guess. Grouper. Never heard of them. Crystal Castles. I never got into the Crystal Castles album, and I don't know why. Atari Teenage Riot, David Bowie, Station to Station. I don't really know that album that much. Venetian Snares. Tell me if you hear anything you've heard of, Tom.
I've heard of Crystal Castles.
I don't want to be a crystal castle. 2814, that's a fucking atmospheric vaporwave album. I could probably make fun of you for that one, honestly, because that's like, it seems like you'd have to not really listen to that much music in that genre to consider that one to be special, I think. Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, I'm not a big fan of them. It just seems like pretty generic for what they are. Ryoja Ikeda, Apex Twin, Pat Shiniwis? Never heard of that. You got Sleep Dope Smoker.
Fuck!
Pretty good.
Jesus fuck!
Enter the Wu-Tang, John Coltrane.
God damn it. I love how, like, I was doing great for a while, and now I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go back to that one little L-shaped area where I kept dying. And I'm still dying here. So, like, it wasn't even the game, it's just this one area is just,
if you
like,
go to the,
fucking.
Like, I don't usually go this way, but I go to the right of the building and fight the guy who's in the alleyway first. And then come back to this guy.
Sucks, and I want to be dead.
I see some I love you, Jesus Christ. Shout out for 3-6 Mafia's Underground Volume 1. It's fucking great. There's a bunch of shit I don't know. Boris's Flood is obviously fucking great. Paysage de Heaver, that's a great one. Clipping. Why is it listed as clipping featuring King T? It's very weird. And you got King Gizzard's Flying Microtonal Banana. It's pretty good. I prefer some of their others. I don't know, man. You got like, I would say that your taste seems like it's not bad. It's like a little recency biased. It seems like you know, like somebody who got into music more recently and has mostly listened to stuff that like people have talked about online in the last 5 or 6 years. But I mean, that's fine. It's true of most people's lists, unless they like are older or grew up with music in a big way.
Fucking dick. Should I like? I don't know. You said not to unload all your weapons until after the weapons.
I mean, you could if you wanted to. It looks like you have enough souls for another level up.
Power up. Whoa.
Is One Piece's writing as tight as it can ever be, or is there any loose ends that should be tightened or cut aside from the dialogue? The dialogue is pretty like terrible in One Piece, but I have no idea about the overall. I've not read that much of it by comparison to, you know, how much there is. I know Vic likes a fair amount of prog rock, but do you have any favorites? I mean, probably the same shit Victor would tell you, because the only bands he knows are bands I told him about, except for, like, all his weird, like, fucking indie rock shit that he listens to.
Huh.
Oh, he said it's a list based on what he's listening to currently, which is why it's mostly recent stuff. Well, you know, it's fine. I'm obviously not going to shit talk a list that has like a bunch of my own favorite albums on it. I'm getting fucking hungry, man.
I haven't eaten anything today yet.
I had some avocado toast earlier.
Oh my god, you fucking millennial.
Yeah. What's wrong with the dialogue in One Piece? Like 80% of it is like just like macho posturing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm hungry.
Is broccoli cheddar soup keto?
No.
Yeah.
Yes?
I think it is, right? It's just cheese and broccoli.
Cheese, broccoli, onions in a bread bowl, typically.
Well, if you don't have the bread bowl, it's totally keto.
Well, you're not even doing keto anymore.
No, but I was legitimately curious. I wasn't sure if there was any secret sauce.
Question for Tom: for the creature designs you did for Azumi, did you do them? I really love the silhouettes and overall design.
Yeah, I designed all of them.
Sure.
Except, well, the big like Oni sort of guy that comes up at the end. I didn't design him. My friend did, but I just took the design and made a 3D model out of it, like tweaked it and adjusted it and stuff. But all the rest of them I did.
Which one you didn't do?
There's like a big guy at the end. He's like red, and he's kind of like
the big
he's like a
Oni
big
guy?
one eye. Yeah, that guy I didn't do. But I did the turrets. I did the little flying Medusa head kind of things and the little slimes. There's a couple other ones
Who the
that
hell
I didn't end up
designed
putting.
the red Oni guy?
My friend Ashley.
Who?
Ashley?
Ashley. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you know her.
No.
Yeah, she's the person I would go to Ohio to live with. So that's where she is right now.
What are your guys' go-to pizza toppings? Pepperoni.
I used to do like just like meat, like pepperoni and sausage and shit. Then I went vegetarian, so then I just did cheese. Now that don't even know what my diet's gonna be, I'm gonna do some biohacking and figure out which diet I want to do. I have no idea anymore.
I always do pepperoni. If we're gonna add something onto it, I would either do mushrooms or jalapenos. Or I'll tolerate sausage, and olives are good.
Really? Sausage only tolerate?
I'm not a big fan of sausage on pizza because it's like the sausage is almost too flavorful. Like what I like about pepperoni is that it blends really well with the flavors of a pizza without like distracting too much. But if you go to California Pizza Kitchen and get like a crazy ass like pizza covered in beans or something, that's also really good. What's your favorite radio core, normie core, mainstream pop songs? Do you even know any from any era?
No.
Does it have to be like current? I like Post Malone for the most part. Well, I won't even say for the most part. I liked most of Beer Bongs and Bentleys. I don't like most of his other singles. I liked
Clean.
Yeah, there's usually a few songs I can tolerate on the radio at any given time. I like Sicko Mode, but I don't think it's the best song off of that album by any stretch. Because I hate Drake.
That's good. What was that little sound effect?
That
Yeah. Sound like some angry shit.
NIOH says, do that intermittent fasting. Good for budgeting.
Yeah, I did intermittent fasting for a while. I kind of want to just go pro and just OMAD it up. I mean, I kind of have to
What is OMAD?
1 meal a day.
Oh.
I actually kind of already do that, to be honest. I usually have 1 meal and then snacks.
I've been losing a lot of weight lately.
Feels good, though.
Not necessarily like deliberately. It's just that May's on a diet and kind of therefore I'm on a diet. And I've just been avoiding like snacks and candy. Cause like I don't eat big portions, but I will eat like just stuff that is extremely bad for me. And so like I don't usually gain a whole ton of weight. But if I'm drinking a lot or, consuming sugary drinks or like eating Reese's all the time, then that will do me in. But just for the last few weeks, I haven't been eating any Reese's. I haven't been drinking a whole lot. I switched to Coke Zero.
Definitely helps too, yeah.
Yeah, so...
they say don't drink your calories.
And just, I just basically, aside from a few snacks here and there, I mostly just eat whatever May feeds me. And since she cooks for both of us and she's on a diet, that means a lot of diet food. And I also, like, if I know when food is coming, I will hold off on eating for a long time. Like, if, say... I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hungry, and May's like, well, I want to work out first and then take a shower before we go to eat. I'm like, okay, that's what, an hour and a half? Sure, I'll wait an hour and a half, like that kind of stuff makes me just eat less. I think you might be fucking pretty good, man. I mean, unless you wanted to go back through the earlier part of the level, I think you've pretty much done all you can here.
Alright. I was gonna check the blessings. I count a couple more of them. Alright. Increases amount of armor to recover by 10%. No wonder I was getting it so fast. Armor blessing. Don't care. Don't care. What are materials I'm assuming is for blacksmith?
There definitely are 2 healing Kodama in this stage. I don't know if they were way earlier. There's one Kodama that, like, if you just go up this cliffside and look down at the buildings to your right, there's, I think, a guy on one of these rooftops.
Didn't I already grab? Isn't that the one we grabbed earlier?
No, drop onto this little cliff right here, like right below you.
This
You
thing?
see that?
I think I got this last time I was playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably did then.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's still like there's a lot of areas you probably didn't explore in the earlier part of the level. But if you don't really want to do that, then you should just go fight the boss and
die.
give it a few goes. I mean, you've got a real easy path to him. Like, I don't even think it would take more than 30 seconds to run back.
No.
So
Just gotta go this way.
yeah, you just straight out, like, as soon as you get to the boat, it'll automatically start the cutscene. Hell yeah, get fucked!
I just want to do that again. That felt really good.
That's pretty fucking satisfying.
Satisfying video.
Big time.
This will be fine. 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 Oh Jesus, fuck!
Oh, I guess
There's no cutscene or anything. Oh yeah, because you fought him. I was not ready. I was not ready to go. He's got some balls. He's got some balls of steel.
He will eventually lose those, actually. Like, they'll break and then he'll throw them at you. Look out for that midway through. There's also a healing item in one of these boxes that are around, so
I'm gonna need it apparently.
you very well might.
Maybe I shouldn't be using heavy on this guy.
Yeah, in my experience with this game, like, when you fight bigger enemies, it's more worthwhile to do small hits and conserve your stamina, because you're not going to kill them fast, so, like, being able to escape their attacks is more important.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, you didn't expect to do it in one, did you?
I did. I absolutely did. I'm stunned.
You may think this, but that's the best part of One Piece. It's all about making these ridiculously evil villains who straddle the line between cartoonish and legit terrifying such cruel and holding off for as long as possible until they fight Luffy. He does the most cathartic punch ever, and it just feels so good. I get that, but I just think that, like, all the enemies are exactly the same. Like, it's always that, what you just described. It's always, like, a
Isn't that, like, every, like, ongoing shonen ever?
One Piece has a very, like, distinctive tone to it, where, like, each bad guy has some kind of, like, really weird quirk, like, some kind of stupid personality quirk that is, like, their defining characteristic. But, like, most of their dialogue back and forth is like, "Huh, how dare you insinuate that you could defeat me? I am the strongest guy." "Oh yeah, you're the strongest guy? Well, I'm the strongest guy." "No, you're not." "Yes, I am." And then they fight, you know? And, like, it's like, and everyone's always screaming. Like, just the way that Oda draws facial expressions, like, characters are always just yelling at each other, you know?
Sounds like Dragon Ball.
It is a bit like Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball is, like, because of the fact that One Piece is deliberately being goofy, like, I guess for some people that's probably why it's more enjoyable than Dragon Ball. I mean, I don't necessarily care for the dialogue in either, you know?
Sure.
But, it does just kind of, like, it makes it so, like, when the fights actually start is, like, the least interesting part. Because, like, leading up to it, when you're, like, learning about the characters' backstories and all the drama and stuff, that's when you, like, really care. But then, like, when it comes time to trade blows, it's just, like, everybody screaming at each other about how good they are. I'm like, just shut up and fight, fucking assholes.
Well, I don't think this is going very well.
No, it's gonna take probably a couple minutes to learn all his animations.
So
and
you learn
combos.
animations, I just fight them until they die. That's how I fight bosses.
Well,
Well,
I wouldn't even say I necessarily learn animations. I just stare at the guy, and if he starts to move, I start dodging, you know? One of the hardest things about getting used to the Souls games for me, and I still am not as good at this as I'd like to be, but it was always hard for me to take my eyes off of my character.
right.
Like, because if you're using the lock-on, then you always know that your character is in the center of the screen, so there's no real need to like think about yourself at all. You just have to watch the enemy, and that's how you can see all their animations winding up. But it took me a long time to be good at that.
Oh. Okay, sure. I guess I'm dead.
That was
like I just lost a
ass.
ton of health instantly for no reason. And I couldn't move for a while. That was creepy.
Neither of us has played Celeste yet. I would like to though.
God, I'm getting spanked at this point.
Sicko Mode Low Key, most epic song title for the most beta low energy song ever. It is kind of funny that a song called Sicko Mode contains Drake talking about how he does half a Xan and passes out on an airplane. That's like the chorus of the song. I did half a Xan, 14 hours till I land. I be out like a light.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
light.
Fuck.
Thanks for recommending Megalobox, Maho Shoujo Site, and Doreiku. Filled my last few days.
I have
No
such
problem.
a migraine right now.
Well, we've only got 5 minutes until we hit 2 hours.
I'll give this a
Just
couple.
spend it all on this boss. I think you're doing pretty okay. Like, I don't think you're necessarily underleveled. It's just hard to, you know, not get hit.
I'll go back to Axe.
Yeah, that's what I do. Just because you only have to hit him a couple times and it does significant damage.
Switching while moving is a nightmare.
And he's gonna do his swing. No, he didn't.
The thing, here's the interesting thing. Is you said you were staying in heavy or high stance the whole game.
Uh-huh.
Your dodge is way better in all the other stances.
That makes sense. Because high stance is like all high energy consumption, but it does way more damage.
Look at my dodging right now on low stance. I'm just like,
yeah, that's crazy.
so like,
Definitely it's meant, like, I would definitely say that, like, low and medium stance are better for boss fights and, like, any just, like, big-ass enemies.
well, this is what you do. You just gotta like wait for your opening, switch to high stance, get the hit in, and
Yeah.
switch back to low stance, start dancing around again.
That's probably the right way to do it. That's, like, the hardest thing for me,
I
like...
just did it. I just did it successfully. I just basically just beat the boss right there by switching stances. Like, big cut.
all of the crazy numbers and extra mechanics and shit is already enough to learn, but like figuring out like how to switch stances on the fly is like,
dude, there's a lot. There's a
Yeah.
fucking lot.
hey, we got a Captain Wiggle Muncher subscribed with a tier 1 sub for the 4th month in a row.
Woo! Did we get a notification? Did it pop up?
I don't remember hearing it.
Shit.
It was like a while ago though.
You also run a lot longer in those things. Your stamina's just not drained as quickly.
Captain Wiggle Muncher says, use your Guardian Slut, Tome.
Yeah, I could. I just don't feel like I've gone far enough to even bother.
I mean, if you use it early, it can reload before the fight's even over.
You know, that's a good point. Get him. Get him.
Oh yeah. Oh, you staggered him too because it did so much damage. That's pretty ill. So probably if you hit him with like a big enough combo, it like will...
Yeah, he gets staggered after you hit him eventually. Oh!
So, which show or piece of media do you think has the best dialogue, Digi? Oh boy. There's a few that like there's a bunch of shows that I had like particularly liked for their dialogue at various points in my life, but like looking back, like when I was younger, I was more into not necessarily like cheeky Diablo Cody style dialogues. I find that kind of shit annoying, but like I loved the dialogue in Kurenai or Hatenko Yugi. Bakemonogatari is pretty known for its dialogue. Fucking
nope.
Any Masaaki Yuasa show. That's probably the best answer. Like Ping Pong, or Night is Short, Walk On Girl, or fucking Tatami Galaxy. Ping Pong probably has like some of my favorite dialogue. Oh, Steins Gate. Steins Gate has phenomenal dialogue, especially in the early episodes.
Shit!
And your battery's dying.
Fucking... It's not the only thing that's dying, fucking cunt. Ugh! This is like one of those things where it's like such a while, it's just like, oh, I'm never gonna beat this. Like, it's not gonna happen.
I think you're doing pretty good.
I'm like hitting him twice. He's hitting me twice. The problem is his twice kills me and my twice
You just
tickles
gotta
him.
not get hit, dog.
Oh, thanks, dude. Your pro strat coaching is really helping right now. Shit, dude. I thought I was supposed to touch his balls. I'm just so gay. I just went directly for the balls. I'm sorry. Thanks for setting me straight.
I thought this guy was easy.
Yeah, well, you think Dark Souls is easy.
It's true. You're doing fine right now. I mean, he doesn't do anything different than what he's doing right now, aside from after he throws his balls. It's pretty much always he swings one, he swings the other, he sits there for a second, and then he does a big power thing. Unless you come in before he swings his second one, then he tries to swing it earlier. That was excellent. And just like with Souls, it's like it pays to stay up his ass because you have better traction on him, but then when he spins around, you just want to get like as far away as possible, but then you just want to get like right back in afterwards, you know? It's like you never want to stay far away for too long because then he controls the pace of the battle. I do think I had more health when I fought him though.
Well, I guess you were upping your health the whole time.
Yeah. Don't know if Tom knows, but high stance roll has the most iframes.
Does it really? I guess that makes sense because you can only do a couple of them.
Exia says, just use the axe, it does more stamina damage to him. Later swords and dual swords scale better. So I guess if you hit him with the axe, it wears him out easier.
Oh, I am doing stamina damage, I guess. That's kind of weird.
His stamina doesn't seem to, like, recover?
I guess not. Ow.
Huh. Or is that his stamina?
That's his key. We're calling it stamina, but it is key.
Right, but, like, can you just, like, whittle down their ability to recover stamina? If so, then that's a mechanic I did not even realize was happening this whole game.
Yeah, it's going down with those
Holy
hits.
shit. If that's the case, then you could probably make him, like, inept eventually.
I think that's probably what staggers him, is, like, wearing out his key, right? Because we have staggered him a couple times. Everything's gay. Oh boy.
Shirobako, that is a good dialogue as well. I think constantly. Every time I even hear Dostoevsky, like if I see his name anywhere, I think about Shirobako and her talking about how much she fucking loves Dost. But she keeps calling him Dost. She's like, yeah, I'm having a Dostathon. Yeah, I'm a real big fan of Dost. You know, good old my good old boy Dost. And for whatever reason, that is the fucking best to me. Did you see this movie called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri? It's the best movie of the decade. I have seen it. I saw it in theaters. It's pretty good. I don't think I'd call it the best of the decade, but I liked it. It's good. I like the other stuff from that director as well. 7 Psychopaths and In Bruges, which are more my genre. Oh, yeah, you got mega lucky that he got staggered right there. Holy shit. Oh, he's gonna start throwing his balls at you, I think. Or something. That or he was just screaming because the stamina was coming back. So
now,
I guess
I'm assuming you haven't been like key pulsing to purify those areas.
You broke his balls off of his wrists. So
now shit's gonna get crazy.
Actually, I think I felt like it got easier after that because he doesn't do those swing attacks anymore. Like, I'm not sure if that's like a natural consequence of the battle or if it's just that you hit him in that spot enough times, you know?
It's probably a consequence. Oh dear.
The fucking music in this fight is so rip-off of Dark Souls, it's painful. Ooh, he's down.
Can't do shit because I don't have any healing. Oh god! I hate my life.
Well, you made pretty good progress that time.
But it was all for naught. Second place is only the last loser.
On key break, they take temporary huge damage.
Oh god, that was a bad call.
Do you watch any of the movies in YMS's top 10s of the year? Nope. I really don't think YMS and I have very similar tastes. Considering that he did a top of the year list for 2008, which did not contain either of my 2 favorite movies of all time, which both came out that year. Them being Speed Racer and Ponyo.
Speed Racer was like critically panned, wasn't it?
It was critically panned. However, it is both Egoraptor's favorite movie and one of Film Crit Hulk's favorite movie, and that's why I watched it, and now it's my favorite movie. Have you not seen it?
I've not seen it.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's pretty fucking dope. I think it was critically panned because if you've... In spite of the fact that it's often accused of not being enough like the anime, like the Speed Racer anime, I would say that if you've never watched anime, the movie will seem like a complete clusterfuck to you. If you watch anime, you'll be like, this is just what it's like, you know? It makes perfect sense to me. Because, like, it's tonally all the fuck over the place, but not in a... It doesn't feel like that was unintentional or like they fucked up or anything. Like, the point of the movie is that it conveys a lot of different tones.
Oh no!
And emotions.
I thought he was stunned. Oh,
he dropped them even faster that time, so I do think it's like if you hit his chains enough times, then they break off. Because he had not lost nearly as much health that time. You can one-hit wreck his stamina by hitting his horn. Works one time only.
Oh, with a bow?
I guess so.
Well, I think I got one more before I call it.
Alright. Funny Bunny 581 asks, what do you like better so far, Neo or Dark Souls?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I haven't played enough Dark Souls to say. I'm not sure if I like this or Bloodborne more. I don't really...
Do I like the typical joke-laced dialogue in Marvel movies and literally every comic book? No. Not a fan.
Let's keep misjudging the hitbox. Keep thinking I'm out of range, and I'm absolutely... Oh, well, I guess we're done, folks.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
There you go. Ritsu Zizik says Speed Racer is my favorite movie. I like the Wii game for it too.
Go play it on Iron Games.
Didn't know there was a Wii game for it.
It's a Wii game for everything. We have a Wii game. We just don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even pick up my fucking souls that time.
Stumblereel says, I would like the film Goemon for the same reasons I like Speed Racer. It's directed by the director of the live-action Kashurn. I've been meaning to watch that live-action Kashurn for a long time. I'd love to do that on TokuCast, if we ever brought it back. Are you familiar with the Kashurn movie?
I'm familiar with Kashurn's Sins. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
No, there's a live-action Kashurn movie. It's a Toku movie.
But I mean, it's the same franchise?
Yeah, same character.
I didn't know there was a Toku movie.
It's got a really fucking cool aesthetic, but like all the reviews I've read are like the story is not that comprehensible, but I mean I guess it's like a Hokkaido kind of, you know, kind
Dude,
of deal.
I can't wait to go back to Jesus Town.
Hell yeah. So are we done? Are we wrapping it up?
I hope when we ever move to everything and PCP is all in the same place, we just call that area Jesus Town.
Bobby Joe Brown says, does Shirobako have good characters or is it more about the ideas in it? Of course it has good characters. I gave the show a 10 out of 10. You should watch it. You should not be asking questions about it. You should be watching it.
I haven't watched it either.
You should, though.
I wanted to.
It's good. You'd like it. You'd love the Dost girl, I think. Who's known to me only as Diesel-san. Because she's just like a writer, like an aspiring writer who ends up becoming involved in the she's one of the 5 main friends who are like the core characters of the show, but like she's not involved in anime production, but they start using her to do research for them to like find out stuff about like diesel machines that they're going to be animating in the show, so everybody comes to know her as Diesel-san, and it's really fucking great.
It's pretty cool.
She's mega hot and really cool.
Are we online? Bloody Grave. Arg! Level 7.
Funny Bunny says, I think the actual chains do not harm you, just the balls, so you can stand between the big boy and where the balls are going to hit.
Huh. Interesting. I figured that whole thing would just be one big hit.
Does that make you want to give it another try?
No.
Alright, well.
No, it does not. Well, everybody, this game is games. I'm less so. Be the games you want to see. Suck some dick.
Be
the best game ever made.
I can't even promise that I think this game is all that great yet, because I have not played ultimately that much of it. It's like, it's very dense, so you can just find yourself going back through the same level over and over again and finding new shit to do, but like,
that's a way
making progress is like, the game is hard as balls, and like, I'm towards the end of the second mission. I haven't been able to beat the boss of it yet, and I feel like I need to grind to do it, so... You know, it's like I'm somewhat trepidatious about that. It's like... Now, granted, I was playing in, like, one long session, so I'd kind of gotten to a point where I was like, okay, I just want to make progress. I don't feel like grinding anymore, you know? But I don't feel like this game's meant to be played all at once, because it is insanely long. I think it's more meant to be like a daily driver kind of game, you know?
Much like an MMO.
Yeah.
Like your dailies, you gotta do with shit.
Right. It definitely feels like the gameplay style is more like Diablo or, there's another game that came to mind. Destiny.
Dude, did you hear the cool news about Destiny?
What?
Bungie and Activision split up, dude. They got divorced.
So...
Bungie's independent now, and Destiny is gonna be self-pubbed from now on.
Do you think it'll
get better?
Good?
I think the bones are just too fucking destroyed at this rate, but I'm excited for future Bungie projects not fucking destroyed by Activision.
How did they get out of it? Like,
I didn't read the article, but I should, because I'm very interested.
I didn't even know Bungie was owned by Activision. I knew Blizzard was owned by Activision.
I don't think they were owned, but I think the game and stuff was like published through them, so like Activision was calling all the shots on it. So like that's why it turned into... People are like, well, maybe Bungie just sucks and Halo was an exception. I'm like, that's certainly possible. But they made Marathon and stuff before that, and people like those a lot.
Digi, any tips to enjoy anime movies and so on that has nonsensical moments like what you said on Megalobox? I mean, it just is a matter of, like, do you care or not? Like, some people, like, really, like, care about a story making sense. Like, for me, it just comes down to how much am I like, if a show is, like, a spectacle and I'm having a lot of fun watching it and I don't really care about if it makes sense, then, you know, I'm not going to come down as harshly on it for that. Whereas if it's boring and it doesn't make sense, then it's like, alright, well, now you're just pissing me off, you know? We can stop whenever you want, Tom. You can hit that off button if you want to.
I just figured out why everyone was calling me a retard.
Why?
I just figured it out. All right. Watch your key/stamina bar. This is what happens when you just hit an attack. See how long it takes?
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's what the key pulse is for.
Right, but like...
You didn't understand that the white bar was not at it being refilled?
I'm not staring at my key bar, so when I saw it starting to move up, I'm like, oh, it's refilling.
No.
But it's not. There's this whole... But like, here's the thing. Even if you do this and hit it, it's already faster.
Right.
So you don't have to time it perfectly. When you time it, it's like a perfect...
That's why I had said to you that, like, I was just, like, holding down R1 and getting key back that way.
This is the worst game ever made.
So, like, you can literally... Look, I'm holding the R1 button before... Oh, I guess it doesn't work that easily. But you can press it right then. Yeah, to make it go faster. I didn't realize it was that big of a difference myself, either. I hadn't stared at it enough to realize how huge it was.
I wish I was playing video games! Alright, are we done?
This guy says the difficulty lowers after the first couple missions. First boss had me dying the most, too.
Is that just because you were leveling up?
Could be.
Oh my god, I have such a bad headache. Video games. You know what, I keep forgetting for modern games I have to like wear my glasses and straining my eyes with high definition pixels.
Why would you ever not wear your glasses?
Because I'm only I see perfectly fine. It's just things that are far away get blurry. So if I have my glasses on all the time, things close up are blurry.
Alright, I'm gonna test if this guy is correct. He said you can just dash through flames if you're using low stance. I don't know if I believe it. I guess, I mean, I still took damage and caught on fire.
You're about to die.
So I wouldn't say it's accurate to say I could just rock through the flames.
Through the fire and the flames, dude. Why is this game so much uglier than fucking
I'm
Blood?
Closing the fucking
Do it.
thing.
Get out of here. Video games you want to see. Give us money. More of that last part. I love you.